So, according to certain theories and research, there are 16 different personality types. Today we're going to find out which type I am. Oh boy. The Myers-Briggs type indicator. People have been messaging me from across the galaxy for a long time now, asking if I'll take this test. Now, I have actually been putting off doing it because, well, look, I'm generally all around pretty much a positive guy. I'm fairly chilled out. I pride myself on the fact that I'm not easily bothered by stuff that just doesn't matter. But being British inherently makes me a skeptical vegetable, if you will, which is somewhere on the cynicism scale between slightly dubious and cynical bastard. I just find it quite difficult to believe that technology is at a place where it can predict my personality based on a few questions. I don't know anything about psychology, but what I do know is that people are complex, and personalities can change over time depending on where you're at in your life. So, taking this test does not mean this is going to be my personality forever. I am going to change, you are going to change, we're all going to change. But maybe that could make this whole thing interesting. If you're not aware of what this test is, it's the Myers-Briggs type indicator. According to their website, it is a psychological questionnaire that can help you understand yourself and your interactions with others. And again, there is something in the back of my mind telling me, okay, sure, I feel like I've had long enough to understand myself. But I want to give it a chance because I think it could be quite interesting, maybe even give me a new perspective on myself. Or it could be complete garbaggio. Who knows? It's so incredible to finally be understood. Take our personality test and get a freakishly accurate description of who you are and why you do the things the way you do. Hey, they don't think it be like it is, but it do. Okay, before we do the test, I want to look at the personality types. Okay, so I am immediately drawn into this. My nerdy brain is instantly stimulated by how this has been presented. It feels like I'm choosing my class in an RPG. But can you blame me? This guy's a freaking wizard. He's got a wand and everything. Can my personality be a wizard? Is this already part of the test? We haven't even got started yet and I'm already feeling something. Okay, let's take the test. Let's take a year to load the test. Neris type explorer. I'm a tiny planet explorer, actually. So apparently this takes less than 12 minutes. It wants me to answer honestly, and don't be neutral. Do not be neutral, PJ. Okay, here we go. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. Agree or disagree? I wouldn't say I find it difficult to introduce myself to other people. I'm just like, hey, I'm PJ, how's it going? I'm very open just to chat to people, so yeah, I wouldn't say I find it difficult. You often get so lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. Okay, yes, that does happen sometimes. I am a prolific daydreamer, I daydream a lot, and it is usually when I'm thinking of ideas. If I get a creative idea in my head, I just can't stop thinking about it. It keeps me up at night, so I would say I agree. Next we have, you try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. Ooh, this is interesting. I recently cleared out my inbox, so I have nothing pending, and that felt good, believe me. To take 10,000 emails from my inbox and sort them into categories, that felt good. I mean, I would say I respond quick enough for it to not be a problem. I agree that much. But believe me, a year ago, I would have been completely the opposite end of that spectrum there. You find it easy to stay relaxed and focused even when there is some pressure. Okay, so if I'm answering honestly, although I like to think that I can stay chill and focused, when there's pressure, I do crumble a little bit. So I know I don't find it easy to stay relaxed and focused. Probably this much though, because there is definitely different types of pressure, and it really depends on what kind of project I'm working on, how much time I've got, where the pressure's coming from. You do not usually initiate conversations. I agree a little bit. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. No, I completely disagree, actually. I love doing things out of curiosity. I disagree with you, quiz. I'm a very curious person and I will go to great lengths to satisfy that curiosity. You feel superior to other people? No. Completely disagree. I do not feel superior to anyone. We're all just different, we do different things, we have different lives. It doesn't make anyone better or worse because of where they're at in their life, so no, I completely disagree. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. Again, I go through bouts of being super organized to being super messy, but I guess if I'm looking at my life right now, being organized is pretty damn important because I've got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm trying to get on top of, so I agree. You are usually highly motivated and energetic. I would say, hell yeah, man. I have constantly got a lot of energy running through me and I just want to use that energy to do stuff. I would say highly motivated, yes, but to the point where it's at a fault. To the point where even when I'm on a break, I'm thinking, I could be working on stuff. What could I be working on right now? But I'm trying to get better at that. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. I guess when I'm working creatively with a group, there is a lot of debating. You have to get across your idea and debate why your idea is the one that is most likely the one to go for. And I guess a lot of emotion is brought into that sometimes. and I don't want to upset anyone. And even if sometimes I do, that is definitely not my intention. So winning the debate definitely, it matters less to me than upsetting someone. You often feel as though you have to justify yourself to other people. No, I kind of do what I want and don't really care about what other people think, so I disagree. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. I try my best to keep everything tidy, especially when I work from home. My office right now that I'm in is pretty damn tidy. Actually, I'm gonna bump that up because I find it difficult to work in environments that are messy, so I try to keep everything pretty tidy. Oh my god, we're only 20% through. Speed this up, PJ. You do not mind being the center of attention. No, I mind. Disagree, I mind. I don't like, in fact, strongly disagree. I don't really like being the center of attention. In group conversations, I don't really like talking about myself too much. I feel too conscious that it might be coming across like, hey, look at me, look at all these cool things I'm doing. You consider yourself more practical than creative. I guess I'm creative, but I use that creativity to practically make things. I think I'm gonna have to go completely neutral for this one. People can rarely upset you. Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I'm not easily upset or bothered by things. I just try not to let stuff get to me if it doesn't really matter. Your travel plans are usually well thought out. Yeah, I like to know where I'm going, what I'm doing. Sure. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. Sometimes, yes. Although I try to be a very caring person, I can sometimes feel quite detached from how other people are feeling. That doesn't mean I don't care about how people are feeling. I guess that's just the way I'm built, so I guess slightly disagree. Your mood can change very quickly. I wouldn't say I'm one to mood swing. No, I disagree. I strongly disagree, actually. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. Yeah, slightly agree. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. No, I do worry about that. Like I was saying, when you're working in a group with other people, you do have to constantly think, how is what I'm about to say going to affect other people I'm working with? Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than a methodical and organized approach. No, although ideas can come spontaneously, I do try to think things out a little bit and plan things out before I start working on them. So I completely disagree, my friend. Websites can't be friends. You are often envious of others. Not really, no. I just try to concentrate on what my life's doing, so no. I think it's natural for everybody to sometimes think a little bit like, oh damn, wish I had that. But I kind of just use those little bits to motivate myself more, I guess. An interesting book or a video game is often better than a social event. Oh boy! I mean, yeah. Am I being too hasty there? No, I don't think I am. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. No, I disagree. My instinct was to go agree, but thinking about it, stuff changes, man. You have to roll with it, otherwise you're gonna get swept under the rug. Is that the right analogy? You have to roll with it, otherwise you're gonna fall to the dust. I don't think that's any analogy, PJ. In the world of making stuff, you have to be able to adapt projects as you go along. I'm gonna go completely disagree, because if you write something and think this is gonna be the final result, you're mistaken, my friend. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. No, I get carried away by fantasies and ideas. You often find yourself lost in thought when you're walking in nature. I would say nature can take that toll on me, definitely. I mean, I live right by the ocean. To be honest, it's pretty difficult to not be completely absorbed by the waves as they're constantly crashing against the stones. If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. Nope. People have busy lives. If I did say something wrong, that's their problem. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. I would rather a kind child than a smart child. I feel I grew up in a more kind environment than a smart environment. Not that my family aren't smart, they're all very intelligent, but I would say their kindness outweighs their smartness. Is that the way to truthfully and politically answer that? I'm sorry, Mum. You do not let other people influence your actions. Sometimes I do. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I would slightly disagree with that. Your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. My dreams are messed up, man. Wait, does that mean sleepy dreams or? Either way, completely disagree. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. This is a difficult one to answer because my new workplace would probably mean a new production, a new film production, working with a new crew maybe. And I guess as the director, I get in there and get social pretty quickly, so it doesn't take me long. You're more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. Again, it goes back to the being spontaneous thing, so yeah. I slightly agree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I think I can control my emotions. I don't Hulk out a huge amount. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress up or role play activities. I don't really do that a whole lot unless it's talking about like D&D. That's, I guess, a role playing activity. So I enjoy that. There's a weird thing about dressing up. I've said this in the past in regards to dressing up as Wiggles the Clown, and how that character just completely engulfs me and I just change whilst I'm as Wiggles. When you're wearing a mask, you're a completely different person. And so when I'm Wiggles the Clown, I feel like I have infinite confidence. It's so weird. It's a total Jekyll and Hyde, I'm telling you. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Yeah, yes, everything I believe in is taking unrealistic ideas and trying to make them real. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. Sometimes a little bit. Again, with writing and film, you have to be on your feet, so I slightly agree. You are a relatively reserved and quiet person. Yeah, I agree. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. Yep. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. Yeah. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. This is a difficult one because I am very torn a lot of the time because I see things logically, but then there is the heart. I slightly agree that logic usually makes more sense. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. Slightly disagree. I think having a to-do list can be helpful, very helpful in fact, but there is something to be said for being flexible with that to-do list. A to-do list doesn't have to be the be-all end-all, you know? If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem. I disagree. I'm not the greatest at emotional support, but again, I do like to try and find logical ways to fix things. I think that's not a bad answer. That's just, I guess, the way I am. You rarely feel insecure. I slightly disagree. I think in the realm of making things, it's natural to feel a little bit insecure about what you're doing and yourself in general, but I don't let it get me down or anything, I just persevere. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. I agree. I don't find it difficult to just stick to stuff if you've planned stuff. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. No. It's a bit presumptuous to think that you would always be right anyway. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they're supported by facts or not. I slightly agree. If somebody has convinced themselves that they think something for a certain reason, whether it's by fact or not, you don't need to rail your reasoning into them to try and change their ways. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. No. You frequently misplace your things. A little bit sometimes. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Yeah. I guess so. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Hell yeah, man. You would not call yourself a dreamer. I disagree, man. I dream up a lot of dreams, my friend. You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. Disagree. I can be relaxed when talking in front of many people. In fact, doing panels at events like VidCon and Summer in the City, I get a huge adrenaline rush from it. I love talking in front of huge amounts of people. Of course, it totally obliterates me, but I love doing it in the moment. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. No, disagree. I make things out of cardboard because I'm so inexperienced at making things with proper materials. You worry too much about what other people think. No, a little bit, but not a huge amount. We're on the home stretch, here we go. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. Interesting, that's a weird question. Completely neutral, I would say. Like, I'm not fussed about where I am in the room. I think I know where this question is coming from, but I'll just be anywhere, really. I'll be on the ceiling if I could. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there is not enough time to do everything. Slightly disagree, I'm not really a huge procrastinator. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Yes, I guess by definition, a stressful situation can cause anxiety. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. Yeah, man. You have always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things, e.g. in books, art, or movies. Hell yeah, man. I've always been into drawing and just making stuff, so totally. You often take initiative in social situations. Yeah, a little bit, I would say. If people aren't making a decision, I would say my inner director comes out and is just like, let's just do this, okay? Let's just do this. Oh, the results. I'm a wizard! Hell yeah, man. Is that a good thing? Let's find out. Your personality type is advocate. My mind is 51% introverted, 49% extroverted. So I'm slightly more introverted than extroverted. And I would say, yeah, that's about right. I would say maybe about 5 years ago, I was way more introverted, but I would say I'm definitely somewhere in between now. Energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. I'm not entirely sure how accurate this one is because I am pretty observant. I don't know, man. Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. I suppose that's accurate? I'm not entirely sure about that one either. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. Yeah, that's fair. I would say that's fair. Identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. I am 71% assertive and 29% turbulent. That's fair enough. I would say that is fair. There we go. I guess I'm a wizard now. Where do I choose my alignment, being chaotic good? Here, let me show you the right path. I'm literally Dumbledore. I just want to quickly read a little bit about this wizard dude. Quiet and mystical, yet very inspiring and tireless idealists. Is that a good thing or not? The advocate personality type is very rare, making up less than 1% of the population. I'm rare, guys. Put me on a plate, I'm rare. Advocates indeed share a unique combination of traits. Through soft-spoken, they have very strong opinions and will fight tirelessly for an idea they believe in. Yeah, that's me. Advocates will act with creativity, imagination, conviction, and sensitivity, not to create advantage, but to create balance. Hey, I know some of these advocates. Martin Luther King was a wizard. I had no idea. I like this wizard's green robes as well, because green is my favorite color. I would totally see myself wearing that. Let's have a look at some of my strengths and weaknesses. My strengths are creative, insightful, inspiring and convincing, decisive, determined and passionate, altruistic. Apparently some of my weaknesses are I'm sensitive, extremely private, I'm a perfectionist, always need to have a cause, can burn out easily. I mean, yeah, totally. Genuinely, that is me. Interesting. Well, okay, there is far more information here than I anticipated. So I think I'm gonna round the video off here and read the rest later. This was actually genuinely quite interesting. I don't know how much of it I believe. Like I said, I'm a skeptical vegetable. I don't believe in horoscopes or anything like that. But this was more interesting. I guess this has a reason for putting you in the category it does. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I may be a wizard today, but next week, I might be something else. And I think that's what's genuinely so cool about humans, is that we can change so much. The one thing that I find creepy is that at the start of this video, I was immediately drawn to the wizard. Okay, maybe it's just a coincidence, but maybe, just maybe, I am actually a wizard. Who knows? Well, I have no doubt that this video has been very long, so thank you so much for watching and joining me on this little journey. I had a total blast. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you want, take the test yourself and let me know in the comments what type you get. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.